Chapter 10. With Uncle here now, the house looks tidier with new shelves and narrow benches. Outside, there is a neat stack of chopped wood in a shed. Uncle is very busy. In the spring, he makes a garden and plants carrot seeds and snow peas and long white radishes and spinach. When he's not working, Uncle takes the children on hikes up to the mountains. Up and up they go. Naomi thinks if they climb all the way, they will reach the sky. Stefan's cast is off, but he still does not run very well. When he is tired, he leans to the side, and even though he is going slowly, he looks as if he's in a hurry. It will take time, Obi-san says. Life is not easy. In the early spring, curly fiddleheads poked out of the ground like green question marks. Snip, and into the jam pails they go. But into the mouth pop the tart red strawberries the size of shirt buttons. Later, there are gooseberries, shiny and green and round as marbles. Uncle examines floppy dark mushrooms on dead trees and other plump ones hiding in the soft mossy earth because he's the only one that knows which ones are safe to eat. From a high rocky ledge past a waterfall, they look down on the world. Far below are the little houses and the silvery river shimmering on its way to the lake. And farther away to the left, there are rows and rows of tiny toy block houses with pencil-thin lines of smoke curling out of the chimney. 2 families in one small house. 1 room for 1 family. We are lucky, Uncle says, shaking his head. One summer day, Obi-san is washing clothes. Uncle is chopping wood. Stefan is writing a letter to Daddy, and Naomi is at the lake. She is with Kenji, a boy her age who lives up in one of the tiny houses. His wobbly glasses bounce up and down on his nose when he jumps. Kenji is paddling around on a log raft. Naomi would like to go with him, but Uncle says she must not go on rafts. The water is cool and tickly against her toes. She is wearing her green and white knit bathing suit. Close by is a sandcastle village. They are making sand houses with grass-topped trees and white pebble sidewalks. There are twig chimneys, twig branches, bridges, twig people, and 1 fat twig dog with 3 legs. Kenji and Naomi are playing when Rough Lock Bill comes to watch. Rough Lock Bill is a tall, skinny man with hair like seaweed. He sits on the sand and talks to the children as they play. Naomi can see his big toe sticking out of your sock. What's your name? He asks Naomi. Naomi, Kenji replies. Can't talk, eh? He nods and hands her a stick. Here, he says, can you print? Print your name. Naomi brushes the wet sand off her hands and takes the stick. Naomi, she prints in large letters. Ah, Rough Lock Bill says. Naomi. He picks up one of the stick people. Is this you? He asks Naomi. She shakes her head. He picks up all the stick people and tells stories. When he gets tired, he goes back to his house beside the beach. Naomi can see him rocking in a chair. Kenji gets tired of the sand village. Let's go in the water, he says. He jumps up and runs to his raft. The raft wobbles as he gets on. Come on, Naomi, he calls. A long pole in his hand. He pushes the raft closer to the shore. Climb on, he says. I won't go far. The water makes her toes curl up tight. She has never gone into deep water, and she kneels on the wobbly raft. Seems like maybe it's a bad idea. Okay, Kenji says. He leans on the pole. The raft scoots out over the water. She lies down on the wet logs. Her toes dangle over the edge. There are small gray fish swimming beside them. The water feels colder the deeper it gets. When Naomi looks up, she can't see the sand village at all. I'm too far here, Kenji, she says. Let's go back. Just one more shove, Kenji says. He leans back, lifting one leg and the pole high in the air. Down goes the pole straight into the water, then splash! Kenji tumbles sideways and falls overboard. Whoosh! The cold water sprays over Naomi's back and the raft bounces on the waves. She feels like a cat on a seesaw. There's nowhere to hold. She's on her hands and knees trying to balance. Kenji is paddling around and shaking the water out of his hair. He has his glasses in his teeth like a dog. She can see the pole bobbing away behind her, out of reach. Kenji's trying to say something through his teeth as he swims to shore, but Naomi can't hear him. When he gets near the beach, he stands up and waves to her. Jump, he shouts. I can't, she shouts back. I can't swim. He holds his hand up to the sides of his head. He can't see without his glasses, and slowly he steps backwards till he's out of the water. Naomi knows he can't help her. He doesn't know how to help. He's afraid. He turns and runs down the beach. He won't come back. The raft drifts in the still lake. Last month, a boy drowned in this lake. She must decide quickly what to do. If she waits, the raft will go further and further, and she'll be lost. She feels sick and afraid. Then she jumps. Down she goes. Down, down, down. Water in her ears. Water's in her nose. Water's in her head. Water's everywhere. She can't breathe. She can't see. She can't tell where the air is or where the shore is. She splashes and gasps and swallows air and water. Again and again, she's whirled in the choking dizziness. She tries to cry out, but the sound she makes is like an animal growling. After a horrible time, something is pulling her along through the water. She feels as limp as laundry on a line. Suddenly, her ears clear. There's a whack whack on her back. Okay, I gotcha, a man's voice says. Water gushes from her nose and mouth. Between gasps, she is breathing. She is breathing, and she knows she is safe. Rough Lock Bill places her on her stomach on the sand. He turns her head sideways on his red and blue checkered shirt. She can feel the sand against her cheek. When she moves her knees up, more water comes out of her stomach and nose and throat. She wipes her nose on the sleeve and closes her eyes. That's it, Rough-Lock says. He peers at her. Good kid. After a while, Rough-Lock Bill carries her piggy back to her family. He tells Stefan what happened, and Stefan tells Obi-san and Uncle. Thank you, Uncle says to Rough-Lock Bill. Thank you for saving Naomi. And there's also an illustration on this page. And that is the end of chapter 10.